Well, I'm glad the internet was invented. Should turn off the music, but I don't know if you can hear the music. I can hear the music. So, all right. So, we're going to be playing Democracy 3 today. There's really nothing specific or important. I'm just kind of having fun. I want to try to run a country exactly, well, pretty much how I want to. I might do a couple of things that I don't technically believe in. I'll try to point that out if I do it. So, I'm just elected president of the United States, and this is what my government looks like. Education's good, crime is bad, unemployment's high, people are sick and dying, and there's a fair amount of poverty. So, the way this game works is basically I have all of these groups: socialist, commuter, liberal, trade unions, parents, ethnic minorities, capitalists, patriots, conservatives, farmers, youths, religious, environmentalists, middle income, motorists, wealthy. So I have all of these people. And if I piss off any one of these people for too long, they're going to kill me. So the basic idea of this game is to try to get all of these groups to like you, which is very hard to do because any one group who likes you will end up, any one group that likes you, another group will end up not liking you. Now, one of the things that I can do in this game is kind of reassign these roles. I'm not going to waste my time with that today. And these people will shift their loyalty to me based on decisions I make. I can reassign these people as need be to try to get the most performance out of them. But again, I'm not going to mess with that today. So basically, I have ever so many points every quarter, and I've got to try to do stuff. Now, the thing is I already start out in a deficit. I already owe money. And this is how much money I'm going to lose every quarter based on decisions I make, and this is how much I'm in debt by. Wait, I think I'm doing that wrong. This is how, I've forgotten already. That's how much I spend every month. The deficit I'm not really sure about, and that's my debt. Maybe that, I don't know. Some economists can explain this to you. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we do is we try to understand why people don't like me. Liberals are mostly mad about the ghettos and the homelessness. Nothing I can do directly about the homelessness. Ghettos I'll get to in a while. Ethnic minorities are mostly upset about the ghetto. Racial tension is certainly a problem. Parents are mostly upset about drug addiction and asthma. Trade unions, nothing really that they're upset about. They just don't like a number of things. Of course, part of the way of working this game is not necessarily fixing the stuff that they're directly mad about, but doing stuff that makes them happy in other ways. And we do that, I think, here with some policy ideas. We've got foreign policy, welfare, economy. Economy is a little bit interesting. Oh, no, wait, it's tax that does this. Economy does it a little bit, but tax, you can actually, this is how you can make money by putting a tax on things and then getting more money for yourself to pay off your debt, but also do more programs. Probably not going to touch this too much. Public services, law and order, and transportation. This area here pleases a lot of trade unions, parent groups, what have you. Okay, so my goal today is to kind of design the government I would want to design, or one that I would hear the people and kind of do for them. To that effect, I'm mostly going to ignore the religious groups, any political group, and try to focus more on the people themselves. Let's go with ethnic minorities. So they're not too happy with border controls, racial tension, and ghettos. Let's go ahead and deal with border controls now. So basically, how do we control our borders? We have biometric checks. We're going to go ahead and reduce this down a bit. I do think we should be checking passports, but I'll put that on the down low there, just right on the border to random checks. And you might, some of you might say, well, we should just let anyone in. Well, there's a reason why we check passports, is to make sure that, people for the most part are who they say they are when coming into the country. Doesn't mean that it can't be faked, but, we do have to have some measure of checking. So as you can see, that cost me a lot of points doing that right there. So I can only do a couple more actions. Let's go ahead and take a look at the ghettos. Now, this can be a little bit confusing because while racial tension is bad, this shows it in a positive. This is just saying that racial tension is high, and we want this to be in the red, where other things we want to be in the green. So, racial tensions, citizenship tests, okay. So we need people to take citizenships to be citizens. So we can go ahead and reduce this, but in reducing it, we affect the patriots. Immigration is also affected. It seems to be a little bit more positive. Liberal and ethnic minorities. So while I think we do need to have citizenship tests, and we could cancel them altogether, but I don't have enough points for that, we're going to simply lower it. I'm kind of mixed on citizenship tests overall, but for this, I'm just going to go ahead and lower it as much as possible while keeping it. We already did, so vigilante mobs. Now, we have vigilante mobs that are making problems in ghettos, and we want to try to reduce the amount of vigilante mobs. Best way we can do that is reduce the crime rate. Let's take a look at police force. We can go ahead and reduce the police force. I can't at this time because I only have 9 points right now, and I need 18 to make any changes. So let us go ahead and take a look at some things that we can do. Tourist ad campaign. That's nice to have. They'll help with foreign politics. Well, disability benefit. I myself am disabled, so I'm going to immediately implement that. Capitalists don't like that, but the equality and retired love it. We're going to maximize that. And I'm now at 0 points, so I need to go to the next quarter. There is an overall point to this, which hopefully I'll get to in the end. Hopefully I die before my first election. All right, so should we ban alcohol advertisements? In all honesty, people are responsible for themselves. I mean, it might help the health industry a little bit if people are not seeing advertisements all the time, but people's healths are mostly their responsibility. And while the government should take an active role in that, it shouldn't treat people like children. So we're going to reject the ban. That's going to help some businesses, but it's going to hurt the health. I only have 13% of the people will actually vote for me in the next election. All right, so I've got 27 points to do things. As you can see, ethnic minorities are starting to like me again. Let's go with, let's start with parents. So they're not too happy about handgun laws. Not too happy about the asthma epidemic and drug addiction. Now, drug addiction, there's several different things I have to do to affect that. Asthma can be affected by instituting policies such as more roads, buses, and telecommuting. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at handgun laws. Well, I can't really lower or higher any of these, so we'll have to come back to this later. Let's take a quick look at trade unions. Labor laws. Should we be pro-employer or pro-employee? I'm actually going to put this at a balance. As you can see, I'm going to put this on the high end of the balance. Well, I guess it's pro-union. Kind of have a mixed bag about unions and the employer itself. This is going to affect a number of things. However, wages, socialism, trade unions go up while the work week goes down. Trade unionists go down, and so this should have fairly positive effects. This is going to cost all my points to do so. One of the points is that change is slow. While I want to change so many different things, I can only do so much at a time. GDP is starting to go down because I'm affecting business. If I want the GDP to go up, I have to basically screw over employees and focus on how cheap things are for the consumer. Debt protection law. Yeah, I do think there are a lot of vultures out there who are going after people, convincing them to get things that they don't need. You could say the same thing with alcohol and the previous selection I made. I'm going to limit agency activity because they are preying on them. Now, there is still a responsibility that people have, but I think that there should be more education given to people before they make their decision. It's kind of a mixed bag. I know I keep saying that a lot, but this is complicated stuff. I'm going to go ahead and limit agency activity. Here's a good quote. Who's more foolish, the fool or the fool who follows him? Obi-Wan Kenobi. All right, so 15% of the people will elect me in the next election. Liberals like me, trade unions like me. So now I'm going to focus a little bit on creating some policies. Let's see. See, I want to do so many different things, but there's only so much that I can do at any given time. So I kind of have to pick and choose what I'm doing. Well, let's first start with some public services. This should help parents and also help health. First, I'm going to do is the national monorail system. Now, the thing is this is going to take 16 quarters to complete. It's going to cost a lot of money to do. Well, that reminds me, I need to do science. Okay, so let me go ahead and do the monorail system now. Hopefully, by the time this is erected, I will still be alive. Reduce car usage, increase commuter, and decrease unemployment. We'll go ahead and set this to the maximum. Let's go ahead. So education is an issue. We're getting a shortage of skills. So let's go ahead and do technology, science funding. We're going to increase this as much as possible. Education is very important to me. Space program, it's a big costly thing there. Can't do anything with that. I only got 5 left. Okay, let's go ahead and do some policies here. We'll do let's see. What would be good? I don't really want to do any taxes because that's just going to cost the middle class more money. I mean, technically all classes, but more the middle class. Let's do a public service. Keep the country tidy would affect health, youth politics, free parenting classes. We need better parents out there. Let's do something simple. Let's go ahead and tidy up everything. Three left. Okay, let's see. Any other public service? Let's do the telecommuting initiative. I have a surplus? When did that happen? Okay, that's all I can do now. That 1 point should carry over, hopefully. Pointing friends to top jobs, fudging unemployment figures, buying votes, and making impossible promises. So, health is going up, crime is going down. 30% of the people will elect me. However, credit rating downgraded. And there's a superhero out there. Huzzah. So, socialists and commuters, the poor, environmentalists are starting to like me. Capitalists are starting to not like me. Parents, trade unions, and liberals are still not liking me right now. So, while I'm at it, evolution only. I know this will piss off the religious people. Oh, I can't do anything. Shit. Probably need to change out my advisors, but that's just going to waste time. I could just skip this round, but I still want to get some more of these going. So increase the bus lanes, car emissions limits, cleaner tomorrow, free bus passes. Let's see, law and order. Let's go ahead and get this one out of the way. Don't really like the idea of police drones. Needle exchange program, witness protection, community policing. I'll go ahead and do that. Should affect many great things, or many bad things, rather. Do free eye tests. Some of these I already know what they are, so I just kind of go through them quickly. I'm sure you can pause this to find out what they actually are. So no major changes there. The Human Rights Society says it actively encourages its members to oppose the current government. Point to U.S. ambassador. I haven't actually had this one before. Well known as a patriot, who'll fight tooth and claw to get our interests represented in the UN. Not that the UN actually does anything. Seen as a popular choice amongst patriotic and more conservative systems. She's not popular internationally. Sean, popular figure, international stage with a reputation for solving difficult problems through compromise and understanding. True internationalist, he's popular with liberals and socialists as well as foreign leaders. Well, we'll go ahead and select Sean. Compromise is an important position. 36 people will vote for me. Liberals, economists, and ethnic minorities are starting to like me more. All right, so anything private prisons. Honestly, I hate private prisons. It's just a greedy corporation. Unfortunate part is that they will help reduce crime. And see, this is where a tough decision comes into play. But it also decreases unemployment. Trade unions don't really like it though, but capitalists and conservatives really love it. It's probably one of the few times that all three, liberal, conservatives, and capitalists, love something together. I'm not going to do any. Well, no, I want to get rid of them. I hate the idea of private prisons. It's more of a business than an actual system that actually rehabilitates anyone. So I'm going to get rid of them. I'm sure that's going to piss a lot of people off. I mean, they have their use, and if there was some sort of reformation on how they operated, I could support them more. But there's just too much suggestion that it's just a corporation trying to get more money out of the government than actually helping people reform in this country. Okay, so work week. Labor laws. Can't do anything. I can't lower that. Dang it. All right, let's do some policy ideas. Okay. Not really sure on that one. It helps food supplies, but I mean, we're basically doing government run through some tourist ads. Encourage people to come to our country. Winter fuel subsidy. All right, so we got 6 points left. Okay, work safety law. Not even really analyzing this stuff anymore. Okay. $37. So sooner or later, someone's going to be coming after me. Still haven't pleased the parents yet. Need to get some more health stuff going. Let's go ahead and get some clean fuel going. We should have fuel efficiency standards. I mean, this is going to affect some people, but we do need a more healthy country. Oh, she's very unhappy with me. I could persuade, I could just replace her, but again, not messing with that. A random check of food packaging industry has found a shocking number of people doing low-paid jobs without permits. Opponents of immigration are outraged that governments have been unable to control our borders, and the unemployed are angry that foreigners are taking their jobs. The media are running strongly worded editorials about the government immigration policy. Down to 33%. But we are decreasing the poor, so. Well, actually, the poor don't like me because of all of that. But we've got to try to find other ways to please the poor. Let's go ahead and click on, let's see, what is this? Antisocial behavior. We want police force is fine where it's at. Plus, I can't make any changes. A lot of people not liking me. Eventually, I'm going to have to replace those people because they'll just end up leaving. Let's see. Antibiotics ban. Affects the GDP, but it makes the people happy. Social Justice Foundation. Yeah, I'm sure the social justice warriors would love that. That should help the parents a little bit. Let's go ahead and continue on. Health increasing. Internet tracking. Increasing the capability of large corporations to use customer database and big data to analyze consumer behavior has led to concerns about privacy. Company insists that such data is anonymous in many cases and is being used to purely provide a better service, where big faces corporation creating Big Brother. So we're going to ban the tracking. And there's pros and cons to that, but mostly it is just tracking information of people. I haven't played this in quite some time, so I used to know what all of these things were, and now I'm just like, I don't know 100% of what they are. Still not liking me, are you? Nothing I can do about handgun laws because I'm not actually playing this seriously. Liberals still not liking me, but most everyone is, and that's a good thing. Okay. A lot more things I could do here. Let's go ahead and do maternal leave. See, feminists, I do care. Let's do city farms. And that should be good. Yeah, I figured out how to get this to full screen on the video itself. Basically, you have to be in window mode for your game. I kind of figured that out like after doing the last video. If you want to leave, leave. Software patents are a form of intellectual property law that allows companies to protect algorithms that implement a new technology, such as new types of translation software. But unpopular, those who fight for free internet and those who think that patents are too far general and stifle innovations. That's a very tough one. But, someone should be credited for their work. I'm going to allow software patents. I could see it both ways why this would be such an issue, but I mean, people are entitled to their hard work. So I'm sure people could argue like the other way, but it's tough to do that with a yes or no answer. And that's the only downside to this game is it takes these complex issues and simplifies them as much as possible. So crime is down, but the GDP is also down, so we're going poor. Okay, parents finally like me. Well, honestly, though, I don't know. It's doing a lot of. Oh, damn. Now I'm doing it. Now I'm starting to think. I'm not designing the government I want to design. I'm designing the one that appeases the most people. I can't even purposely get myself assassinated without thinking, what's the, because I mean, it affects liberals, but, the crime is on the downside. Internet crime is down. Ugh. This is a tough one. Because there's a need for intelligent agencies. I'm going to leave that alone. All right. I'm sure many people are going to debate on that one. Almost regretting that I did this video. Oh, well. Capitalists not liking me right now. That's what you get for being for the people and not for businesses first. Okay, let's do some recycling. A popular philosopher announces that the age of humanism has come to an end and transhumanism is now a reality. Good for him. Not sure what that means for the human race, but good for him. Watch me get elected again before I die. Yeah, but my point is starting to go down. Yeah, it's hard to do anything without these. I have to. Let's I'm just doing it based on their numbers, whichever is higher. 3.9. I was taking this a little bit more seriously. I'd see what they were actually good at versus what I'm bringing them on for. Again, I'm just trying to get the most amount of points so I can do more. Okay, so that should give me something. Hopefully those 4 points carry over. Capitalist plot. Okay, they want to kill me now. Antisocial behavior is added in. Although unemployment is up, crime is down, education is going down, poverty is going up. Rare earth crisis. What can we do about foreign CO2 emissions affect foreign relations? That's interesting. I'm doing all I can for the tourism campaign. Alrighty, so let us, you know, funny, the capitalists are happy and they want to kill me. Well, let's do diplomatic service. Maybe that might appease the foreign relations people. Still important to have, but you know. Because of that. Let's get a space station going. Those are always fun. Creates jobs too, or at least it should. Alrighty. Let's get some policies underway. Compulsory school sports. I actually agree with this. Children need sports, especially boys, but girls too. Once I get to about 600 billion, people are going to start hating me because we're in a deficit. Oh, there's something. Child labor law. We should criminalize child labor. Failed assassination attempt, so it's already starting. Vigilante mobs are at an end now. GDP is going way down. We're no longer a technologically advanced society. Who tried to kill me? Extreme capitalists. Okay, people, so we're almost there to being assassinated. So, what more things can I do? Legal drug consumption. Well, let's see if we can do that. Might as well. Where is that? Green Electronics Initiative. Well, that sounds nice. Robot research grants. Well, that's just the way for the machines to take over. I haven't touched taxes at all. Recreational drug tax. Basically, we. Um, if I'm correct, this almost makes it legal to have drugs by providing a tax for it. Well, it doesn't really say that it's for that. Let's not mess with taxes. Okay, free school meals. Let's just get the public services going. I'm going to die. I'm going to make this country a lot better. Make it harder for the next guy. Let's go ahead and do that. Fortunately, racism still exists in this country, though not as bad as it once was. But it's still a fight we need to deal with. Pollution is now at an end. Huzzah. %62% people would vote for me in the next election. Capitalists still not liking me. Liberals not really liking me. Environmentalists loving me. Okay, so let's get some more public stuff going on. Well, we can increase the number of bus lanes we've got. That's not a big issue, but it does help things. Well, let's do the well, that's 12 quarters. Who cares? Yep. Because of the GDP going up and all these people hating me. Crime is starting to go back up and poverty is starting to go back up. Middle income. Okay, income tax. Nothing I can really do about a lot of these. It's because of the debt I'm in. And there's not much I can do about the debt now because I'm overspending on trying to do things for the betterment of mankind. It's kind of where the point of this is going. What is this? Yeah, so it would be the social justice warriors, healthcare vouchers. That's too complex of an issue to really for me to decide. I don't understand everything I see. Stupid disability. Not doing anything with taxes. Economy. too many things to choose from. That's not what I meant to click. Oh, that was. Okay. Oh, DNA database. No, I'm not. Well, requesting that they allow to build up a global database of everyone's DNA to assist them in crime fighting. DNA evidence allows many previous unsolvable crimes to be tracked to the perpetrators, although there are privacy concerns. Well, I'm kind of debating on this because it is like a privacy concern, but there are a lot of unsolvable crimes that, when DNA is presented, it's found that, or there's a lot of false criminalization that, the people are criminalized or go to jail for a crime they didn't commit, and many years later DNA proves that they didn't commit the crime. So I'm going to do it based on that. Let's go ahead and get some clean energy going. Well, let's see, is there anything else? Right, controls. Yeah, I don't like the exploitation of the poor. Now, in all of these, I would like have a long debate about them. So it's not like it's so black and white where I stand on many of these issues. But, it treats them as black and white issues and kind of shows you the consequence of having those views. Assassination attempt. 29% of the people will vote for me. So we're almost close to dying. Anti-gravity research. Well, we're good. Yes. Legalize prostitution. Oh, that cost me everything I had. The media doesn't like me. Maybe we should be giving more guns to people because they're very bad at shooting people. I mean, how many failed attempts have I gone through and no one has killed me yet? Maybe prostitution can get us out of the crippling debt that we have. Here's hoping. All right. Well, let's go ahead and do this one. More people are working. We can tax them. Maybe I should do a video where I purposely just try to piss off everyone as much as possible. See if I can get everyone into red. Of course, that would make for a much longer game. I might as well try doing one where I try to please everyone. Okay, 11 left. What are you up in arms about? Free eye tests, pollution controls, poverty tax, state pension, technology. You really hate the rent controls, don't you? I think the only thing that's saving me is all of these people. All right. Well, no one's watching. If they were, I would tell them to go ahead and choose. All right. Let's do some clean energy. Nine. There's really nothing left for me to do. I might as well do the witness protection program. And I'd just let these points go to the next one, but I could actually die while I'm trying to do as much good as possible. Now let's do the National Armed Forces. We should respect them. Election time. Oh, I have to actually start the count. Oh yeah, like that many people actually voted. So there you have it. The social justice warriors win. Stupid debt. Okay, so that does it for this round. I didn't get assassinated, but I was close. Well, we have 4 assassination attempts. I knew I should have affected gun laws. Make it harder to get handguns. Not that it would have been much good since they can't kill me. We should, have better. Here, if you want to assassinate me, here's how to use a gun. The first thing you need to do is turn off the safety. No, the safe. That little. Give me the gun. Here, now, shoot me. So, okay, so what's the point of all of this? This is the one thing that a lot of people don't seem to understand about governments and how they work, is that you can't necessarily just go in and do what you want to do. You can't make the changes you want to make because not only are there groups of people that will oppose you that are taxpayers. Ooh, telephone. No idea who that is. It's the home phone. So not only are there groups of people that won't like you and will make your life harder and will end up trying to kill you, there's a cost to everything. And not just a financial cost, although that is part of it. And you saw what happened is by implementing all of these things that I thought were for the betterment of mankind, costed a lot of money, and I needed to find a way to do all of that while balancing how much money I was taking in. But the more I kept spending, the less I had, more debt I got, and then people eventually hated me for having that debt. Unfortunately, you can't go to China and ask for them to bail you out. So the point of this is that you can't ever really do what you want to do in a government. That, let me turn the sound off. It's distracting me a little bit. There we go. I don't know if it was distracting you at all, but it was distracting me. So we can't always do what we want in government, and this is problematic. However, when we make the decisions that we do in government, we have to outweigh who's going to benefit from this and who's not going to benefit from this, and how's this going to affect our bottom line. In many ways, running a government is basically running a business. And while you want to try to give your citizens the equality that they need, or if you're a dictator, take away the equality they need. But while you're trying to give that to them, you also got to realize that there's going to be big costs associated with that. And you piss off people long enough, they're going to end up trying to kill you. And what might be considered a human right for one affects businesses in a bad way. And it's like you want to, you know, legalize prostitution. I think it should be legalized. I think that it would be a much safer career choice if it was legalized and, you know, had some sort of, well, like any other job. Or worker safety. You know, that should be important, but that affects consumers. Or that affects capitalists, affects business, and affects consumers. Because that's more money that businesses have to pay to assure worker safety. Money that has to be then applied to the product itself. So when we look at various issues in government, look at various ways that the government decides to spend money on and what not to spend money on, you have to remember that the decision is not always a clear cut. It's not always so black and white. There's complexities that we may not understand or we may not see that was involved in that decision. However, the problem comes, you know, for a lot of people is when a decision was done based on misinformation or done on poorly constructed research that was done specifically for a political end to get the effect that they wanted. Feminism does this a lot. The 1 in 5 number was done specifically for that, to try to get money their way. So they invented a lie, invented a narrative to get money that they wanted, and the government went with it because these were the experts telling them what's going on. To the point that even President Obama stated the 1 in 5 number, which we know to be false. And yes, there's always opposition, but you know, you've got to decide who is the most credible. And usually people that are the experts in their fields tend to be more credible than some person who does videos on YouTube. It's unfortunate that that's what it takes, but you know, that's, I mean, if you're in that position, who are you going to listen to? Someone who's paid to do this for a living, or someone who just does it on their free time? So it's difficult. So as you can see, I didn't get assassinated. Very close to getting assassinated. I didn't get reelected, and most likely it was because of the debt. Because as you saw, right before that debt crisis happened, I was at like, I think 46%. And then the moment we were in like this overwhelming debt, everyone started hating me again. And it doesn't matter what good I did. All that matters is that there's no money in the government. And I guess that's another point there, that it's easy to hate people for their current mistakes and not really look at their past accomplishments. You know, we can love people for their past accomplishments while coming down on them for their mistakes. However, in this country, actually in our culture, and a worldwide culture at that, is that we only remember people for their current actions. So if they do something bad, it doesn't matter what good they did before. They're just a bad person. They've always been a bad person. However, we can also be a little bit forgiving too, that if someone does something really, really big after that, that makes up for a past mistake and enough time has passed, we'll remember them for the good thing they did, but only if it overshadows the bad thing they did. But any one bad thing can overshadow any good accomplishment prior to that point. Depends on who writes the history books in the end, but that's generally how it is. So I hope you enjoyed this. You got an idea of some of my politics. Some of it I really don't understand, and some of it is like, well, you're asking me a black and white answer, and this is a complex issue that requires a little bit more than just black and white selection. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Thank you for watching, and This is Mad Cat signing out.